For this question 3, there's a question 3.1 and 3.2. 3.2 sikhuluma ngama-least squares regressions. 3.1 we are working with mean and the standard deviation. All right, so these are basic concepts like statistics. All right, so yeah, let's talk about this question 3. In the description box, I'm going to leave links for other questions and for this question paper, of course. But if you don't find any link, for a specific question, just know that I'm a recorder as of yet. Okay, you enjoy the content, leave a like. I'd appreciate that. Okay, so for the 3.1, we are shown a table for the weights of 7 women who visited a local clinic for antenatal screening. Antenatal screening. Okay. So during this visit, out of the 7 women, the first one, it weighed 86. The next one, it weighed 82. The third one, we don't know how much she weighed. The third one, 93, 74, 87, and 76. For the first question, we are asked to calculate the value of W, the unknown, if the mean weight of the women is 81 kilogram. So for the 3.1, for the 3.1.1, we want to calculate the unknown W. So njengoba basiphe mean, it means that we'll have to use the mean formula to calculate the W. If we basiphe standard deviation, we were going to use the standard deviation to calculate the W. Something like that, okay? So we have X bar equal to the sum of all the values on the table divided by the total number of the values. Divided by the total number of the values. Alright, so we have the X bar, the mean being equal to 81. And then we just take all the values on the table basis our add. We have 86, adding 82, adding with W, adding with 93, adding with 74, adding with 87, plus 76. I feel like this question should have been a 2-mark question, at least. Divided by the total number of the women, or the values on the table. So adding, and adding. Let's see what value we get. So I'm gonna take out a calculator here. Okay. So 86 plus 82 plus 93 plus 74 plus 87 plus 76. Then see 81. That is equal to 498 plus W divided by 7. So it means that ngapha I will have to multiply by 7, ngapha another 7. 81 times 7 is equal to 567, equal to 498 plus W. Okay, then we're gonna transpose 498. 567 minus 498 divided by W, equal to W, minus 498. I'm told the W is equal to 69. Alright, so this is how we're gonna work out the value at W. But in this case, I feel like no, 2 marks, at least 2 marks. 1 mark, it's a rip-off, a complete rip-off. Okay, so we just calculated the value for W. So total to W is 69. Now for the next question, calculate the standard deviation of the weights. Alright, the standard deviation of the weights. Prepare a table like this one. Alright, always prepare a table like this one. Alright, so after having this table 3.1.2, prepare this table, okay? Then from Lanage, you take x subtract no x bar. Remember the x bar is the mean. It's the mean. X bar is equal to 81. We are told that the mean is 81, so we're gonna use that. Alright, so let's calculate x minus x bar. Let's start with this row. So 86 minus 81, I'm getting 5 la. And then 82 minus 81 equal to 1. Alright, then if we continue subtracting, so the x value is subtracted with that x bar in order to get these values. So 69 minus 81, I'm getting minus 12. 93 minus 81, I'm getting a positive 12. 74 minus 74 minus 81, I'm getting minus 7. And then 87 minus 81, that's negative. Okay, I might get this one wrong. So it's 87 minus 81. Oh, it's 6, positive 6, yeah. Positive 6, then the last one, that's gonna be minus 5. So adding everything, this 5 cancels out that 5, the 12 are cancelled, this one, this and this is 7, so it's always gonna add up to 0, alright, adding up to 0. Then we take these values and squaring them. We take x minus bar, then we square. So the square, 5 squared is 25, 1 squared is 1. 144, 49, 36, 25. Alright, to 5 in case you got lost somewhere. So negative 5 squared is 25. So adding everything up, Lana, we get to 424. Alright, now that we have all of that filled in on the table, we also have a formula sheet here too. This is how we calculate any standard deviation. So this is the formula. Sizoti standard deviation is equal to the square root of sum of xi minus x bar squared divided by n. So standard deviation is equal to the square root of, so it's the sum of this, right? It's the sum of the x minus x bar squared, which is that 424, divided by the total number of the values. It's 7 women, so it's divided by 7. Then standard deviation is gonna be the square root of 424 over 7. Answer is 7,783 kilograms. So this is the average weight, the standard deviation for the weights of the women. All right, so let's get into the next question, which is about least squares regressions. Okay, the regression lines. All right, so 3.2. The table below shows the taxi fare that passengers pay to travel over a distance of 300 kilometers on South African roads against the average price of petrol per liter X, represented by X, over a period of 8 years. As understand, what is actually happening. All right. So in year one, maybe singati, just thinking about a petrol price some years back, it was quite cheap compared to today, right? So some years ago, maybe 5 years ago, okay, let's see, 8 years ago, a petrol will cost this much. And then 7 years ago, increase, it kept on, okay, it fluctuated. In fact, it fluctuated from 8.50 to 13 rand. Drop, pick up again, drop, pick up, pick up, pick up. Look, I price petrol. All right. So for this discussion, we want to use the answer sheet to draw a scatter plot using the given information. So I have the grid prepared. It's this one. It's from the answer book of the exam. Alright, so we're gonna have this. As our grid. Of course, you need to also label your axes. So for the X, we have petrol, price per liter. Price per liter. And then ngapha we also have taxi fare. We have the taxi fare taxi fare. Alright, so then we plot X to 14. Now 14 200 now right here. Then it's 13 170 now, and then we have 12 rand 50. 12 rand 50, it's 180. 12 rand 50, it's 180 right here. Then it's 12 for 12, it's a 150. 12 150 now, and then we have a 13 rand, another 13 rand, that's 190. 190. Then we have another point, 10 rand 50 no 140. 10 rand 50 no 140 khona lana. Then we have a 13 rand 50. 13 rand 50 no 160 lana. And then we have 850. And 130. Okay, so these are the points for the scatter plot. Okay, and then for the following question, they are also asking us to determine intuitively whether a linear, quadratic, or exponential function would best fit the data. So babuza ukuthi, does this graph resemble a linear function, meaning it's a straight line, a quadratic, meaning that it's a smiley curve or a set curve, or it's either an exponential, an increasing curve, or a decreasing curve? Okay, in order to determine this, you would have to draw a line of best fit. So the line that touches most of the points now. So this would, I would say, it represents exponential function. The graph represents an exponential function. Okay, so we have this. Use the given information and answer sheet number 2 to calculate the sample regression equation by following the method of least squares regression. Okay, so this question wants you to find the equation. Yeah, one of that equation I just drew just now. You want to estimate the equation for that line, the line of best fit. The line of best fit. So how do we do that? How do we do that exactly? We do that by using this table. We do that by using this table. Let me bring it up. Let me bring it up. Up. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we want to use this table. Of course, there's another way of calculating this, but for this discussion, I'm going to stick to one method, which is this one, right? Which is this one. Let me also bring it down. Let me bring it down all the way up to this point. Okay, anything with a bar, you have y bar, x bar. This stuff simply means that you are calculating the mean for those variables. All right, so petrol price, taxi fare, all of this information is coming from that table. Then ufuna ukuthatha lo x nalo y uba multiply, ubhale answer for each row. Uthathe the x value, we square and write down the answer for each row. So what we want to do now is take 14 times 200. Okay, so 14 times 200, calculator, 14 multiplied by 200, in total 2,800. 2,800. Then in tatu x nyam square. What is 14 squared? 14 squared is equal to 196. 196. Then I continue tata this multiplied by that. So it all out 2,250. 2,250. Then sibano 1,800. Sibuya sibe no 2,470. Then sibuya sibe no 1,470. Sibuya sibe no 2,160. Then sibano okay, did I do this right? 2,000. Okay. I did this before I started recording, so I think palelama value it's 2,210. Then go about 2,250. Then go about 1,800. Then go about 2,470. Go about 1,470. 2,160. Then go about 1,105. Okay, 1,105. So it's just a matter of taking x and multiplying it by y to the answer for each row. Then we do the squares for the third column. Then sibano 169 1. Then sibano 156,25. Okay, 25. Then sibano 144. Remember, we are taking x and squaring it, meaning that in tata the 13 I'm squaring up. 13 squared, it's 169. Among tata the 10 rand 15 square, nithola 110,25. Then sibuye sibe no 182,25. Then for the last one it's 72,25. Okay, so from line again we take this product, we add them all up, then it's total our x times y, the sum of x times y. Let me use black this time. So it allows 16 to 65. Then the x squared when added sithola 1199. Alright, then add yonke into along the for the x column sithola 97, and then for abu y when added sithola 1320. Okay, to calculate x bar no y bar, you take all of these values with our eta, which is this, then you divide by the total number of the values. So you divide on 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, you divide by 8. When you divide by 8 to total 165. Then for this one, so total 12,125. Okay, now that we have all of these values, we can now start calculating the equation yet. The equation is presented as y equal to a plus bx. So our job is to calculate a value a as well as a value b. Alright, as well as a value b. So how do we calculate a value a and a value b? We start off by calculating a value b. Now I call the formula sheet. The formula sheet, perhaps atingi combise like this and drag it and bring it over here. Alright, so this is the formula we're gonna be using, this one. So this formula to calculate the value ka b. That is why we had this table, so that we can calculate the sum of the product of x and y, sum of x, sum of y, sum of x squared, all of this. Alright, all of this. So this is the formula we're gonna be using. B n sum of xy minus sum of x multiplied by sum of y, everything divided by n sum of x squared minus sum of x, everything squared, and then everything squared. B is equal to n, it's the sum of all the values, that is 8, open bracket, sum of xy, that's 16,265 minus sum of x 197, sum of y 165 divided by 8, sum of x squared, 1199 minus sum of x 97, so it's 97 squared. Then we'll punch out this whole thing onto the calculator again. I'm gonna punch it. I just need to make sure whatever I got while practicing it, I'm getting the same thing. Multiplied by 165 divided by 8, 1199, close bracket, minus 97 squared. Ngithola 63. What did I do now? What did I do? I'm getting a different answer from the one I got. Yeah, minus 97 and 6. Okay, sum of y. Yeah, no, I see what I did. We need to fix this. Yeah, but it's important I do this thing first. The calculations now, they can throw you off sometimes, very off. Okay, so check this out. Sum of y 1,320. I substituted 165, the y bar. No, so I substituted the incorrect value. So now that is fixed, we're gonna say multiplied by 1320 equal to a total 11,36 is equal to 11,366. Yeah, 366 is our value. So this is B equal to that. All right. Now, in order to calculate A, we use the following formula. A is equal to X bar. In fact, it's Y bar minus BX bar. Let's make sure. Let us make sure. So this is the formula, Nyla. A is calculated using this formula, so you're correct. So A is equal to, what is Y bar? Y bar I calculated to be 165 minus B, it's 11,366 multiplied by X bar. X bar, it's 12,125. So therefore A is equal to, let's calculate, 165 minus 11,366 multiplied by 12,125. A is equal to 27,187. Therefore, I'm going back to this original equation. Where there's A, I substitute at that. Where there's B, I substitute at that B value. So my Y is going to be equal to 27,187. That's A plus B, 11,366 multiplied by X. This is my equation. Now, I think for the next question, I think we're going to be extrapolating. Use the regression equation calculated in 3.2.3 to determine an estimate of the taxi fare in rands that a passenger would pay if the petrol price is 15,5. So for this particular question, we are using this equation that we just calculated now. So isebenzisa to calculate the taxi fare if the petrol price is that. So if X is equal to 15,5, calculate Y. So basically uzala to this equation substitute X, Y is equal to 27,187 plus 11,366 times 15,50. So nasi calculate as tolangaki 27,187 plus 11,366 multiplied by 15 rand 50 is equal to 203 36 rand. So this is the final answer. Okay, ish. Yeah, what a question 3. Easy, yet so much calculations, a lot of calculations, easy calculations as well. All right, so I hope you managed to answer such questions in your exam. So for this one, I'm gonna say peace. I'm gonna catch you on the next recording. So for now, bye bye.